Mataji, you can start with it.
Yeah, there you go.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter number 7. We have read up to what number? 12? Yes, we have read up to verse number 12 and we will be beginning from text 13 today. Let's do a quick couple of points, recap and the storyline, and then we will start.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, we saw that simply by oral reception of this Srimad Bhagavatam, one can invoke devotional service in him.
Amazing. Yes, only hearing, oral reception. Prabhupada also said many times in his lectures when he was traveling all around the world, meeting new people, he said, it may seem too much. So many things mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, the whole Vedic civilization, it may seem too much, but one need to do only one thing, hearing. Just sit and hear. That's simple. That doesn't require hard work. Just hearing, and everything else follows. The ultimate success can be achieved only by oral reception, only by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you. One more.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. We learned that the root cause of all the suffering in this material world is because we are controlled by Maya. Only by devotional service we can mitigate the suffering.
Yes, this Maya is the root cause, and that Maya identifies ourselves with the body, and we forget that we are the soul, and that is the root cause of every single problem in this world. All right, thank you so much. And the storyline where we are?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, storyline is in the chapter 6, the question was asked, why did Vyasadeva left? What did he do after Narad Muni left? So, it is said in the chapter that he sat down in meditation and he had darshan of Lord. Then, on the instruction, he compiled Srimad Bhagavatam. He revised it. He taught it to his son Sukdev Goswami, who was already a liberated soul. And why did he teach to Sukdev Goswami? Of course, it is very Srimad Bhagavatam is very powerful. Because he was very dear to devotees of the Lord, so he wanted to read about it. And then now the starting of the Parikshit Maharaj and Pandava's renunciation, that will be discussed. So that's where we are in the storyline, Prabhuji.
Amazing. Very nice. All right. So before we begin with text 13 today, if you have the books in your hand, I would request you to go to chapter number 4 and read text 9, 1.4.9, so that we know what we are going to do today. 1.4.9. Sharda Mataji, if you or Shiva Prabhu, one of you, if you can read 9, 10, 11, and 12.
Sorry, Prabhuji, still trying to find, there's no chapter numbers at the top of the book. It's pretty hard to find in the hard copy.
Page number 210.
Page 21.
What page number? Someone can...
Anyone else?
210.
Sorry, Mataji? 210. 210. Okay, we'll find 210. Fantastic. Thank you so much. 210. Oh, chapter 4, going backwards. Sorry. 210.
Number
210.
chapter number 4, text number 9.
Yes, Prabhuji. Almost there. Just 10 seconds. 210. Okay. 9.
Hare Krishna, everyone. It is said that Maharaj Parikshit is a great first-class devotee of the Lord, and that his birth and activities are all wonderful. Please tell us about him.
So here he is asking, please tell us about the birth and activities of Maharaj Parikshit. See how they were asking. All right, one more verse.
He was a great emperor and possessed all the opulences of his acquired kingdom. He was so exalted that he was increasing the prestige of the Pandu dynasty. Why did he give up everything to sit down on the bank of the Ganges and fast until death?
Yeah, and one more, last one.
He was such a great emperor that all his enemies would come and bow down at his feet and surrender all their wealth for their own benefit. He was full of youth and strength, and he possessed insuperable kingly opulences. Why did he want to give up everything, including his life?
Amazing. So now you know how the questions were asked about birth and activities, and they wanted to know more about Parikshit Maharaj. And that's why here we will see the discussion begins with it's the story of Parikshit Maharaj, the birth of Parikshit Maharaj, and what happened, how did he meet Sukdev Goswami. All right, let's start our reading. 13 and 14 we can read together. Who would like to? Bimal Prabhu, you want to read 13 and 14 together?
Hare Krishna, everybody. Text 13 and 14. When the respective warriors of both camps, namely the Kauravas and the Pandavas, were killed on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the dead warriors obtained their deserved destinations, and when the son of Dhritarashtra fell down lamenting, his spine broke, being beaten by the club of Bhimsena, the son of Dronacharya, Aswathama, beheaded the 5 sleeping sons of Draupadi and delivered the heads as a prize to his master, foolishly thinking that he would be pleased. Duryodhana, however, disapproved of the heinous act, and he was not pleased in the least.
Thank you so much. So here it's happening at the end of the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata war, 18th day. The wars lasted for 18 days. Bhagavad Gita, we know it was spoken before the war started. So the first day before the war started, right at the start, Krishna takes the chariot in the middle of the 2 army and speaks. Here, this story starts at the last day of that war, 18th day. And what happens? Both the side, Pandavas and Kauravas, most of the soldiers, or millions of them, they were all killed and in the battlefield. And Duryodhan was lying. Duryodhan and Bhima had a fight. Duryodhan is lying. He's not dead yet. As of now, his spine is broken and he's lying injured. And Aswathama, he wanted to please his master. So that's why he got with the 5. He killed the 5 sons of Draupadi and he comes with the head, just to trying to please his master. Srila Prabhupada, before he starts this particular section, in the previous purport, he mentions that some people directly jump into the later part of Srimad Bhagavatam, like 10th canto or Rasa Leela, how Krishna performs wonderful pastimes with gopis. But Prabhupada points out, right in the previous purport, that intelligent people, they go step by step, right from the beginning, canto 1, 2, 3, 4, and then reach to the later part of the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, where this Krishna's personal, intimate pastimes are mentioned. Why is that? Because one need to understand who is Krishna, the position of Lord Krishna, position of us, the creation, all the existence in this universe, and then only one can understand the pastimes of the Lord. So it is advisable, it is recommended, and Prabhupada points out the intelligent person should go Everyone should go from Canto 1, 2, 3, 4, and then reach the pastimes of the Lord. Some foolish person, Prabhupada writes, unintelligent, foolish persons, they will start discussing Ras Leela and they will ask questions. How can Krishna do like this? How can Krishna dance with the gopis? And they don't understand because they have not gone through the creation, the position of the Lord, the position of the living entities, all the aspects. So here, in this particular purport, Ashwatthama, or the text, brought the heads as a prize to Duryodhana. But what is said, Duryodhana, the last line of this text, if you see, Duryodhana disapproved this heinous act and he was not pleased the least. He disapproved. He wasn't happy by this act of Ashwatthama. Why is that? Because it violates the Kshatriya Dharma. Kshatriya Dharma is to fight with someone on an equal level when the weapons are in the hand. If someone is sleeping at night and to kill someone, that is not Kshatriya Dharma. Duryodhana wanted to win the war with his own strength, not like this violating the Kshatriya Dharma. So he was not happy. It is said Duryodhan was a great king. He had lot of good qualities. All the qualities he had was good. He was a great king, great administrator, great ruler. He was very generous. He was hosting many times the sages would come. He will host them very nicely. He was a very charitable person. He was a brave, he was a warrior, very brave warrior. He was loyal to his friends. He was firm in his vows. If he take a vow, he was very firm. So Duryodhan had lot of good qualities, but only one bad quality Duryodhan had, which is he was envious to Pandavas. He was envious to Krishna. And that only one envy, one quality led the destruction of the whole family, whole kingdom, his own self, everything of destruction. Duryodhan was a great king, otherwise, all his qualities were really good. And here we see that he disapproved this act of Ashwatthama. So, learning point from this verse is Srila Prabhupada mentions that this envy is the cause of our material existence. Just like Duryodhana, he was envious about Krishna and Pandavas, the envy within our mind. Why to make Krishna happy? I want to be happy. Why to cook for Krishna? I want to eat. Why to work for the pleasure of Krishna? I want to have my own sense gratification. Why to satisfy senses of Krishna? That is the envy. So, even if a person has all the good qualities, but if this envy is in the heart that I want to enjoy, why Krishna enjoys, that envy, one single thing can lead us to the destruction. Just like we see, everything else was overshadowed. All the good qualities of Duryodhana was overshadowed, and just by one thing, envy, everything got met with destruction. In the same way, our life also, we have to get rid of all the anarthas, even if one. What are the anarthas we have? Lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. The easiest way to remember is I, Pagal, Pagel. I, Pagal. I stands for illusion, P stands for pride, A, anger, greed, E for envy, and L for lust. So IPAGEL. All this has to be checked. Kam, Krodh, Moh, Matsarya, we say Maya. So all these things needs to be given. Even if one, agar ek anger bhi bacha hai, then it will lead us to destruction. Even if one lust is there, it will lead us to destruction. Even pride, one thing is there, everything else will be overshadowed and it can lead us to destruction. So all this, with this Duryodhan's story or with Duryodhan's pastime, we can understand we have to check all the anarthas. Even if one there, it can bring us to destruction. And here it was specifically enviousness, that why Krishna enjoys, I want to enjoy. Why they become king, I want to become king. In our practical life also, why to work for Krishna? I want to enjoy, I want to do this, I want to do for my own self, and that is envy. So we have to check that by chanting and by studying Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. Puja Vithalani Mataji, let's do 15 and 16 together.
Yes, Kevin. Hare Krishna. Draupadi, the mother of 5 children of the Pandavas, after hearing of the message of her massacre of her son, began to cry in distress with eyes full of tears. Trying to pacify her in her great loss, Arjuna spoke to her thus: O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of that Brahmana after beheading him with arrows from the Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your son's bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head. Hari Bol.
Thank you so much. So Draupadi, she's crying because the 5 sons are killed, and Arjuna here is trying to pacify her, and she takes a vow. Arjuna says, I present you with the head of that Brahmana. After beheading him with arrows from my Gandiva bow, I shall then wipe up the tears. So Arjuna is trying to pacify Draupadi. Imagine 5 sons are killed. You know how much grief stricken Draupadi would be. She would be in tears. And Arjuna is trying to pacify. So Arjuna, even though he knows Ashwathama is a son of Brahmana, but if someone does wrong thing, he must be punished. At that time, it is not right to say, oh, but he is a Brahmana, he is a son of a Brahmana. Oh, it's okay, Bhagwan dekh lenge, chalo chodte hain, theek hai, we have to do shanti, shanti. No, when it's time for action, when something is going wrong, if a person is doing something wrong, it must be punished, even though he is a Brahmana. Prabhupada writes in the purport, even though he was a son of a Brahmana, but instead of doing Brahminical act, instead of doing actions like a Brahmana, he was doing actions like a butcher, killing the 5 sons. So he must be punished. There is no forgiveness in this kind of situation. All right, so the storyline, we know what's happening. Draupadi is crying, Arjuna is trying to pacify. Let's see what happens after that. 17, 18, and 19 together. Nikki, can I please request you to read 17, 18, 19 together?
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Text 17. Arjuna was guided by the infallible Lord as friend and driver. Thus satisfied the dear lady by such statement. Then he dressed in armor and armed himself with furious weapons, and getting into his chariot, he set out to follow Ashwatthama, the son of his martial teacher. Text 18. Ashwatthama, the murderer of the princes, seeing from a great distance Arjuna coming at him with the great speed, fled in his chariot, panic-stricken, just to save his life, as Brahma fled in fear from Shiva. Text 19. When the son of the Brahmana Ashwatthama saw that his horses were tired, he considered that there was no alternative for protection outside of his using the ultimate weapon, the Brahmastra, the nuclear weapon.
Thank you so much. So here,
No worries.
Arjuna sets out to kill Ashwatthama. He gets out with his armor, armed himself with the furious weapons, and he sits in the chariot and gets out. Now, what happens when Arjuna is going? Ashwatthama finds out there is no alternative for protection now. And then he releases the Brahmastra, the nuclear weapon. It is said that this Brahmastra is invoked by mantra Shakti. It's not a physical weapon a person carries and does. In olden days, Vedic civilization, the mantras of the Brahmanas had the power. Even before beginning the yajna, fire sacrifice, people don't use red heads, matchsticks, or lighter. Everything, the ingredients were so pure, the Brahmanas were so pure, and they just chant pure mantras, and there was a Agni, and that's how they used to perform sacrifices in olden days, because everything was so pure. Brahmanas were pure, qualified, they were learned. In these days, everything, purity is gone, everything is gone. So here, even this Brahmastra, it was invoked by mantra Shakti. It's not a physical but mantra Shakti, but it had the power to burn the entire world. That's how much strong Brahmastra, nuclear weapon it was. Drona gave this Brahmastra the knowledge how to invoke this weapon to both Arjuna and Ashwatthama. But Arjuna was very dharmic, very self-controlled person. And that's why he gave Drona full knowledge about Brahmastra, how to invoke and how to retract back at the time of need. While Ashwatthama was not steady, in his mind he was not self-controlled. So Drona gave only this mantra half. He didn't give full knowledge. Teachers sometimes do that. If the student is not capable, they don't give full knowledge, only half knowledge. So Drona gave only half knowledge. That the knowledge about how to release Brahmastra, but he didn't teach how to retract back Brahmastra. So here at the end of the 19th verse, Ashwatthama releases the Brahmastra because he was fearful. He had no other way to save himself. There was no way for protection from Arjuna. So he releases that. Let's do 20, 21 and 22 together. Who wants to read? Shatish Prabhu?
Sure. Hare Krishna, everyone. Text 20. Since his life was in danger, he touched water in sanctity and concentrated upon the chanting of the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons, although he did not know how to withdraw such weapons. Text 21.
So here you see, sorry, just a second, we'll pause here. So here how he started, touched the water of Achman, he purified himself and concentrated on chanting the hymns for throwing nuclear weapons. So from Mantra Shakti, he is invoking the nuclear weapon. And it is also mentioned here, he did not know how to withdraw such weapon. All right, go on.
Sure. Text 21. Thereupon a glaring light spread in all directions. It was so fierce that Arjuna thought his own life in danger, and so he began to address Lord Shri Krishna. Text 22. Arjuna said, "O my dear Lord Shri Krishna, you are the almighty personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find a path of liberation in you only." Hare Krishna.
Excellent. So here, when he invoked Brahmastra, the nuclear weapon, Arjuna thought his own life was in danger. The glaring, the effulgence of the Brahmastra weapon, it was spread everywhere, very severe. And Arjuna also thought, his life is in danger. So what did he do? He went to Krishna, started offering prayers. Arjuna started offering prayers to Krishna. He says, "Oh, my Lord Shri Krishna, you are the almighty personality. There is no limit to your different energies." Arjuna starts praying. Why? Because this is happening at the 18th day of the war. We know, the whole war, from day 1 to day 10, Bhishma was the commander of the whole Kaurava army, and he was killed on the 10th day. From day 1 to 10, Bhishma was the commander. On the 10th day, Arjuna killed him. Shikhandi, to bring Shikhandi in the front, and Bhishma was killed by Arjuna. So after the commander-in-chief, Bhishma was died on day 1 to 10. On the 11th day, Dronacharya took the command of the army. So 11th day to 15 days, Dronacharya was. But lot of battle, fierce battle happened from 11th day to 15th day. And 13th day, if you remember the story, 13th day, Abhimanyu was killed. And Drona was killed on the 15th day? By Yudhishthir. Remember, Yudhishthir said, "Ashwathama is dead." He actually meant Ashwathama, the elephant. But hearing that, Dronacharya got weak because Yudhishthir Maharaj said, "Ashwathama is dead." So on the 15th day, Dronacharya was killed. So from 16th and 17th day, Karna becomes the commander in the chief. And 17th day, Karna is also killed by Arjuna. So the last 18th day, Shalya takes the command of the army, but then the whole Kaurav army loses the battle on 18th day. So here, on the last 18th day, the Bhagavad Gita was spoken before the war. So Arjuna knew. Krishna tells about his position, how I am the Supreme Lord, and all the information we have learned in Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna knew that. And that's why in this verse, number 22, we see that Arjuna starts praying to Krishna at the time of difficulty. There was his own life was in danger. So Arjuna says, "Oh Lord, you are the almighty personality of Lord." In this one, Prabhupada writes in the purport, a devotee of the Lord is always fearless because of the protection given by the Lord. Arjuna is going to Krishna for the protection with the prayers. And Prabhupada writes, points out, a devotee of the Lord is always fearless because of the protection given by the Lord. The way to attain fearless is we have to go to Krishna. If we know Krishna is the supreme controller, he is the supreme person, he controls everything. And the quality of Krishna is he loves his devotees. So when we have a knowledge about Krishna and we know that Krishna loves his devotees and we try to become devotees, that is the way to achieve fearlessness. Prabhupada explains in the purport. And that's why when Arjuna was fearful of his own life, he goes to Krishna, as we see in verse number 22. Let's move on. 20. Actually, we can do 3, 4. It's just a story. Beautiful. 3, 4, 5, 6. Sushila Mataji, 23, 4, 5, and 26. We can do all 4 verses.
Hare Krishna. You are the original personality of Godhead who expands himself all over the creation and is transcendental in material energy. You have cast away the effect of the material energy by dint of your spiritual potency. You are always situated in eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge. Text 24. And yet, though you are beyond the purview of the material energy, you execute the 4 principles of liberation characterized by religion and so on for the ultimate good of the conditioned soul. Text 25. Thus,
Very important. This text 25, very important. Read carefully, everyone.
Thus, you descend as an incarnation to remove the burden of the world and to benefit your friends, especially those who are your exclusive devotees and are wrapped in meditation upon you.
Who can relate Bhagavad Gita? Which sloka that Krishna is incarnating to remove the burden of the world and
Yada yada
benefiting
hi.
the yes, and the next one.
Paritranaya sadhunam.
Yes, so you can see Arjuna is praying like he has heard 18 days back, and now he is saying, you have descended to remove the burden of the world and to benefit your friends. Because he thought his life is in danger, he offered the prayers, what Krishna spoke about him, the knowledge about himself. So last 3 verses were prayers of Krishna. Arjuna is saying, and now he is telling, you have descended to remove the burden and to benefit the friends. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam. And then what happens? 26, Sushila Mataji. He's gone.
No, Prabhu, this paper is not.
26.
Sorry. O Lord of Lords, how is it that this dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? I do not understand it.
Thank you so much. So here Arjuna says, you have appeared to wipe the burden of this world. How is it that this dangerous effulgence is spreading? You are present here, Krishna. How is this? All the effulgence is spreading. Where is it coming from? I do not understand. So Krishna is praying to Arjuna, and Krishna is asking question. Sorry, other way around. Arjuna is praying to Krishna, and Arjuna is asking questions to Krishna. Generally, when a problem comes, people's mood is they ask Krishna to remove that problem. लाइफ में कुछ प्रॉब्लम आता है, challenges होता है, difficult होता है, then people say, please remove this obstacle from my path, please remove this, this Krishna, this difficulty is there, please I request you to solve this issue, remove this. But removing the struggle from life is one thing. Devotee's mood is when the problem comes, we have to understand why Krishna is putting us in this situation. What is Krishna trying to teach me? What lesson can I learn from this situation? This situation is coming into my life. This difficulty is coming in my life. What is that I have to learn a lesson from this? A mistake is not a mistake unless and until we learn a lesson from it. If we learn a lesson from the mistake, then we are fine. But if we forget to learn a lesson from the mistake, then it's real mistake. See, we are not God, we are not Krishna. We make mistakes. We are humans. We we make mistakes, but we have to remember to learn from the mistakes. There is one famous quote that if we fail in something, that means we are on the track for success. We shouldn't be afraid of failure. If we fail, that means we are at least trying. The one who doesn't fail, that means the person is not even trying. Who was that? Albert Einstein. He said, a person who hasn't failed, that means he hasn't tried. ट्राई ही नहीं किया डर के मारे कि मैं फेल हो जाऊंगा. The person who hasn't failed, that means he hasn't tried, and that means successful person have failed many times before they got success. So in our life also, when the problems come, situation comes, अपनी गलती हो गई है, we have made some mistakes, something have happened unplanned, but we try to learn from the mistake and we make sure we don't repeat and we progress in bhakti. Just move on, go ahead, learn the lesson and carry forward. Only Krishna cannot make mistake. We can. We don't have to live in the past. Arey, ye galti ho gayi, I have done this, I shouldn't have done this, that person shouldn't have done this. No. Learn the lesson and move on. That is what we learn from this verse. Just like Arjuna is going to Krishna in the situation, in this problematic situation and asking prayers, we can also go to Krishna and try to understand what is the lesson for us. So now Arjuna is going to Krishna about this difficult situation. How Krishna answers that, what happens next, we will read tomorrow. From text number 27, we will begin. Very beautiful story. Fighting happens. Arjuna will also release his Brahmastra, and Ashwathama has released Brahmastra. Two Brahmastra colliding. What will happen? We will see tomorrow. All right, I will pause here at 26. Any questions, comments, additions?
Yes, Prabhuji, realization from today's event that my computer started updating. So to learn from mistakes and to avoid this, we'll make Puja with Lani Mataji as the second backup recording person.
Learn from the mistake. Very good practical application. Thank you. Puja Mataji, you raised a hand.
Just quick clarification, Prabhuji. In the 24, text 24, Arjuna is mentioning about the four principles. Is that dharma, arth, kam, moksha?
Four principles of liberation. Yes. Characterized by religion. That is more important. Characterized by religion. That means dharma.
Oh, okay. So the main out of the four is dharma, right?
No, Pancham Purusha, the bhakti is the main. The fifth one is the main. But all the four should lead to religious dharma.
Yes, I think we've covered this in the previous verses when I was, I didn't join the class. I joined the classes after. Thank you, Prabhu. Haribol.
learning point is join the class regularly. Do not miss single session. All right. I look forward to see you all in a day trip to Naimisharanya. Please plan. Puja Mataji, Jai Shri Ram Mataji, we will miss you. I know you are in India, but yeah, send your blessings from Vrindavan to us.
Definitely, Prabhuji, I'll pray for everyone. Jai Shri Krishna.
Thank you. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki
Srila
jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
everybody. Have a lovely day.